Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and evil and pestilence. First and foremost, call Halal Yumla Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled well within this ministry and taught us this Amath, which is the truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that preach this truth out the four corners of the globe, which can have lives of freedom to do so. Shalom. All right, it's the brother Shemaiah. All right, from the GMS Cleveland branch, coming with another lesson, a walk and talk lesson. All right, about basically our job in this ministry. Us brothers, our job is to warn the people. All right, our job is to push these prophecies, okay, which is bringing this kingdom down. All right, is bringing this kingdom down and building our kingdom up, the kingdom that the Lord has established under the rulership of Yahushai, all right, and also King David, all right, and we are those heirs of the throne that's going to rule in the kingdom, man. Lord willing, we be of the elect, 144,000. We're going to be our rulers, judging the 12 tribes, judging the other nations, you know. And we're going to have a higher seat in the kingdom. But right now, it starts with pushing this word, which eventually all of Israel will rule. All the men of Israel are going to rule in the kingdom of heaven. All right, but it all starts with pushing this prophecy first, which 2/3 of our people are not doing. 2/3 of our people not even hearkening, all right, which is going to lead to their destruction. So back in this Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, and this is Jeremiah, all right, this is Jeremiah speaking. So he said, even before him, there were prophets prophesying, man. Because the Lord always had a select few number of men who would turn to righteousness, who he would give that wisdom and knowledge to in order to go out and preach, in order to go out and prophesy. All right, he would always give a select men, righteous men, all right, not just any men, but righteous men, visions of what will happen in the future. Okay, and he sent out those men to go preach and tell the people of those visions they received, man. All right, which now, man, we're at our last captivity. You know, those many kingdoms and countries and great kingdoms. This is the last captivity, man. All right, that we're prophesying against. So with that being said, all the prophets are here today. That has never happened before, man. All right, you always had prophets that lived in the same time as each other. All right, contemporaries, what you would call them. But all the prophets here at once, you know, in this place we call Babylon, spiritually Rome. All right, this has never happened before, man. So this is a great thing that's happening. The Lord is building up that third tabernacle. All right, that tabernacle of David is being built through the Lord's men, through the Lord's prophets, all right, which is the body of Yahushai. But I'm going to keep reading. It says, verse 9, Jeremiah 28, verse 9, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. Because you got a lot of false prophets out here, man, leading our people astray. All right, some of our people in these church houses, reverends, pastors, deacons, preaching the wrong shit, man. All right, leading our people astray because they're under a certain code, a certain charter that they cannot break. They signed a covenant. They signed a covenant with Esau, Edom. All right, so now that they established their churches, they can only teach whatever Esau allows them to teach, which is that BS Christianity, man. All right, or whatever false religion that's being spread about throughout the earth. But then you got certain Israelites who know that they're Israelites, still preaching false doctrine, man. All right, preaching blasphemy, preaching you can have sex on the Sabbath, that the Lord, the Lord of the name of the Lord doesn't matter. You know, certain things like Esau are done away with. All of these false, doctrines that's being spread out is confusing the people, man. But all that does is it solidifies who the true men of the Lord are. It makes the true men of the Lord stand out, all right? Because like the scripture said, when a prophet which prophesieth of peace, when that word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent them. And our apostles and elders, all right, have been preaching the same doctrine ever since they've been going out preaching, man. All right? Sticking to the prophecies of the scriptures, man. Breaking it down for what it truly is to be broken down for. You know? And another thing is, the MOTB is here, man. Our apostles and elders been warning us about the MOTB for a very long time. Years. All right? Years on top of years. Is the MOTB not here? The Lord, Salakia, there's a lot of confusion going on, man. But the Lord put the spirit on our apostles and elders to prophesy, man. All right, to be able to get this wisdom and knowledge and to teach us. So now that these things are actually coming to, now these things are actually coming to pass, man. Now we know who the true men of the Lord are. Now we know our apostles and elders from Millstone all the way, to the brothers, who woke up, the different camps all throughout the, all throughout the world are the true men of the Lord, man. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, verse 10. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. All right, now I'm gonna go Salakia. This is Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." All right, and these prophecies, the Lord gave them to us, man, to be able to understand, to be able to interpret. That's the Lord putting his words in our mouth. Because at the end of the day, this is the Lord's word, and this is the Lord's plan. This is the Lord's book. He's in control of everything, man. All right? We prophesy to warn the people to get the blood off our hands according to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. And in hopes that we'll be delivered ourselves, man. Having faith that we'll be delivered and our families will be delivered as well. Which is another reason why we continue in this work, in this ministry. All right, our apostles and elders told us to what? Do a video daily. All right, every day a video should be put up, which sometimes you may fall short, but that's putting the spirit on you to be what? More on fire. Push these prophecies more. Because the more we be on fire, the more we push these prophecies, the sooner Esau's kingdom is going to fall and the faster our kingdom is going to be established. And that's what the Lord say, pray for shorter days, man. All right, because the Lord is shortening the days. He doing that for the elect's sake. Okay, but us pushing these prophecies, we pushing these prophecies for a specific reason. To warn the people and to get the blood off our hands. And to set up, we're heralds of the Lord's kingdom. We're spiritual heralds. We're pronouncing the arrival of Yahushua, his second coming. All right, and we're welcoming in his kingdom being established. We're preparing the way for Yahushua's kingdom. We're preparing ourselves and we're preparing our people, whether they hear or forbear, man. All right. Also to wake up the elect, to seal the elect. All right. Fishers of men. That's what we are. That's what we do when we preach. It says, verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Because in those days you had scribes, man. All right, in those days you had scribes, which you had righteous men or prophets who received visions, who received prophecies, interpretation of the scriptures. All right, and they had scribes, which were people who wrote down those visions or prophecies. An example of that is in the book of Eli at the end of the movie, when Eli, he started to quote, and he started at Genesis, man. All right, and he didn't need the Bible. He had it up in his mental already. He started to not quote, but actually recite the Bible. And you had the man, all right, who received that book. The man who received that book, he started to write down everything Eli was saying. That would be considered a scribe, man. And now we have the scriptures today. You know, so call Haloyim La Yahweh Shem Yahushai for those righteous men and for those scribes, man. All right. But these prophecies that's written in paper is the scriptures, the Bible, man. All right, and they are faithful and true because they're going to come to pass surely. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And the main people who speak against us is our own people, man. When we go out there prophesy, we tell you, all right, America, which is known as Babylon, the Lord is going to what? Make war with America's military. That America's going to soon be destroyed. Our people what? Buck up against us. You know, you tell our people what? That the Lord, who you call JC, that's not his real name. All right? And he's not a so-called white man. He's a so-called Negro. They buck up against that, man. All right? And they trouble us. You tell your people that they're Israelites. They're not African American. They're not black. They're not Hispanic. They're not Latinos. All right? And they buck up against it, man. You tell our, that's just facts, man, at that point. But you tell our people that the Lord is coming back. He's not coming back to save everybody. All right? The so-called white men, they're going to go into captivity in the kingdom of heaven. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have slaves. That's all prophecy. But our people don't hear that, man. They forbear and they buck up against it, you know, and they trouble us for these things. Our own people. Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So for not hearkening to the prophets, the Lord's word, they're going to die, man, because they don't have faith in these scriptures. They don't have faith in these prophecies. So the Lord's judgment for them is death. And not just any death, but a cruel, bitter death. All right? And the death is going to be so cruel and bitter that even in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to be ashamed for what they've done. They're going to be ashamed for that judgment and that punishment, man. All right? So us brothers that have the truth, all right, we got to continue to push these prophecies, continue to teach, and continue to study and grow in these scriptures so we don't be weeded out. And those who don't hear, shake the dust off thy feet, man. And those who will hear, strengthen them in the faith so they can become, believers and their faith will be increased. So with that being said, I'm going to close out giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom, shalom.